When I was young, I used to always love going to school libraries and book fairs. I remember one of my favorite book series when I was in elementary was Goosebumps by R.L. Stein. I used to bury myself in books whenever I had the chance to go to bookstores or libraries. I used to be fascinated with reading when I was a kid, but then things changed. I went through a period in high school where I wasn't as fascinated by reading. I went away from reading for a reason or another. I think a big part of it was due to the fact that a lot of the time schools make you read material that is not of interest to you. That was the case for me. A lot of the reading material in my high school was not of interest to me. It was not something that excited me. So I think I naturally started to dislike reading and found it somewhat boring. I thought it was the new me, but once again, things change. I was now in my early college days and I was feeling a bit lost in my career and the life path I should take. Through this period, I was also in my self development journey, and I decided to commit to reading one book a week on a business or self development topic I was interested in. So, for a whole year, I managed to read just over one book per week, and this is how it changed my life. So at this point, I already had my business going on, but I hadn't crossed the six-figure mark yet. I was still learning about running a successful business, how to delegate tasks, and figuring out the whole operations of a small online business. With that said, at the same time, I was reading books like Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, which I feel helped me in sales when it comes to my business. I was also reading books like Atomic Habits and The Compound Effect, which helped me in developing my daily habits so I could establish a routine that would allow me to operate the best that I could and position my life so I could hit my business goals. I feel like reading a book not only developed my business skills, but also my mentality and habits, which I feel are as important when it comes to succeeding in your business or your career. The following year, after reading a book a week, I crossed the six-figure mark. A second thing I learned from reading a book a week was different topics outside of my scope of knowledge. I found myself learning about psychology, startups, technology, and other stuff as I embarked on my reading journey. Books like Outliers, Talking to Strangers, David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell really helped me learn about psychology, culture, and the world. It opened my eyes to something I didn't know about before. Another small thing I noticed as I read throughout the year is that I felt at peace and happy, or at least joyful in the moment. I remember a book I read called Flow, the Psychology of Optimal Experience. It talked about something similar to this concept. It talked about the concept of flow, which is a state of being in complete absorption of an activity, and how being in that state brings us a lot of fulfillment. It is a state where you forget about time and are just absorbed in whatever task you're doing. You are fully focused without time really existing. I found this through reading books, and it's a beautiful feeling. I was just present in the moment. The fourth lesson goes specifically for reading biographies. During that year, I read biographies of Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, Elon Musk, Benjamin Franklin, Michael Jordan, and a few others. I got to learn about the minds of some of the greatest people, entrepreneurs, innovators, athletes, and inventors. I think biographies are a great way to learn about the life, failures, and successes of people that made or are making a big change in this world. I found it very insightful and helpful that I could take away lessons of what to do or not to do in my own life and business. Books versus videos. Kind of ironic that you are watching this video. While I do think videos are an amazing way to learn, I think sometimes books have material that you cannot really learn from a 10-minute YouTube video. Now, that's not to say that a 10-minute YouTube video is not valuable, but it takes much longer to write a full book than to record a quick 5 to 10-minute video. Sometimes books contain richer material than a short video because more work and research was involved in writing the material for that book. For example, you cannot get all the knowledge from a short 5-minute video about the life of Steve Jobs, as opposed to reading his biography book, which I believe is around 600 plus pages. You will get more value and lessons from reading his biography than a quick video. So that's a wrap for this one, guys. That is how reading a book a week for a year changed my life. Even now that my schedule is busier with my business, I still try to go on reading marathons a couple times a year and just read. Books have truly changed my life. Give reading a try and it might just change your life as well.